Welcome back, family. It's your homeboy, Cosmonian, stepping back in from the etheric heavens. Right back down here in Atmospheria. Peace to the righteous gods and Nirvanian goddesses. This is GIT. Gods and goddesses in training. Today we got a good message that I wanted to bring out from the Oahspe Apocrypha. The Apocrypha text. This is something we needed to know. This is about bringing Jehovah's kingdom here on earth. Huh? This is about all those who don't understand why we call it Creator Gang, huh? Because we move in packs, but we move in the righteous works of the Most High Creator, doing good to others and abnegation of self. And if we are to found Jehovah's kingdom here on earth, we must move away from the old foundation and tear down that all old things we were bound and stuck in, like religions. And start to build a new foundation. The work must be done. And we not talking about it. We doing. Shout to everybody in the house. Global Purpose. Y'all ready, y'all dread. Shabbat Shalom, faith is family. Next over Yahoo. What up, though? Ray, you always be the first here. Shout to Ray, man. Shout to Ray. She said hi. Hi. He said hi. She said hi. I don't know if Ray is a man or a woman, but I think it's a woman. She always nice. Shout to Ray. Peace and light to all the faithful sons and daughters of the Creator Jehovah. That's right. De jour. That's right. Who is this? Great Spirit. I don't even know about that title, Great Spirit. I don't know, man. Hit them like buttons. Get them like buttons up. Hit that thing popping down in there, man. I've been looking at my my analytics, and I get a lot of people, almost half of them, who actually come and view, don't leave a like or a message. Or even if you don't like it, hit the thumbs down. It don't matter. Let us know you're here, man. Subscribe, like, share. It all helps to the growth of the channel. Israel. Shalom, family. That's right. Wipe your feet off at the door. You know you can't even wear your shoes in grandma's house. You know you can't wear them shoes in grandma's house. You walk through that living room if you want to. Wipe your feet and hit that like button as you enter. Peace. That's right, Global Purpose. Thank you. All praises to the Most High Creator. You dig what I'm talking about? Yeah. I got on boy head, man. Elijah 7 in the house. Who else we got up in this thing? That's right, my brother. Selah Shalom, created gang ain't going nowhere. Huh? They must seem to forget that we move in unity. We move in a self-righteous, not even self-righteous, a selfless purpose. We do the Creator's work. When it's time to go get the babies out of ooze, it's gonna be these chocolate faces you see up in here doing all the work. Ain't gonna be no babies dying on our watch, huh? Jehovah's kingdom will come through his people. You better believe it. Belzel the Israelite in the hit house. Belzel is in the house. Shalom, family. What's goody? You already know, nothing good but the Most High. Nothing good but the Most High. And this work we about to put down, man, this is the book of Gradius. This is, actually, I put down, this is lesson number 30. This is actually lesson number 31. Apocrypha text. Gradius. Here's what I'm talking about. Let's get a little volume on this thing. I want to set this thing up with a little precept real quick out of the Oahspe, right? So we get a full understanding of what we're talking about and what the book of Gradius actually goes into. And for the sisters, if you got a sister, I'm going to read the whole book of Gradius. But if you a sister or you got sisters, I want y'all to get on this live right now. Share it on your live, on your YouTubes. Share it on your Facebooks. Share it on your Twitters and your Instagrams. Because sisters, let me explain this to the sisters real quick. Y'all got a very, very, very special purpose in the founding of Jehovah's kingdom on earth. You do a very special thing. You come with a whole new style of teaching. Huh? It is you. Woman, it's you. Daughter of Jehovah, who are literally going to change these young ones. We're not going to no longer be gods in training. You are going to birth and raise the first gods right here on earth in real time. You gonna raise them up. They're gonna be able to see the heavens in full consciousness. Huh? Thank you everybody for supporting the channel who be hitting the Cash App, man. Y'all, man, Creator good, man. Creator is good. And I ain't talking about no money. I just love that y'all support, man. You know, as a matter of fact, anybody who watched the first shows, I didn't even put no Cash App on there. But people who support it told me that I should put it up there so people can help. You dig what I'm saying? With that being said, let's pay a couple of these bills.
Welcome, why? Hey. Chronic, left, right, that's how it does come. Left, Right. Hey, ooh, yeah. Ah, boy.
That's right. It's your boy Cosmonian right back at it, man. And you know what we here to do. Balance all balances and check all checks, because you know what happens next when you see the butterfly vortex. Boy, your boy got some good stuff for you. Your boy got some good stuff for you. Let me see if I can blow this up for y'all. I might want to drop off screen, see if I can blow it up a little bit. Let me see if I can blow this up. Boom. Now, we want to go first. And I don't never really see nobody bring Jehovah's Kingdom, the book of Jehovah's Kingdom on earth. I hardly ever see people bring it out. Oh, Malachi, King Malachi in the house. Malachi, did you know your name means king in the Bantu languages, in Swahili? Huh? Malachi Maccabee, my St. Lou brother, huh? What y'all know about that? Shout out to the Essenes, Nazarenes, and the faithists in the house, all Israelites. All y'all who love Jah the Most High, man, I'm your brother and I love you. Huh? This world don't love us. Huh? The world's people do not love us. That's why I got to get into the Gradius, because it also explains that in the time that we put in this stuff together, we're going to be attacked. And attacked not in the way that you think we're going to be attacked. Many of us are going to be attacked from the inside. Huh? It's going to be people claiming that they faithists, claiming they trying to do right, but they works not adding up to all that mouth. But we see here, right, we're going to lay a little precept, a foundation of what's going on in the book of Gradius. Let's go to the chapter 1, verse 1 of Jehovah's Kingdom on earth. And in the early days of the Cosmon era, which is now starting in 1848, early days is all the way to the year 200, or the first semi-dan of the Cosmon era, or 2048. In the early days of the Cosmon era, after the revelations of the Father's kingdom on earth had been published, 1881, and then again for a second time in 1882, and known abroad over the world, many went forth in the Creator's name and Jehovah's name to accomplish the new kingdom for the resurrection of man and for the glory of the Almighty. Foremost among the many who came out of Uz was one who was esteemed wise and good above all others. And because he was a representative of man, the people named him Tai. And Tai, remember, when we saying these names, is we can't just go by what the English white man version of these words and how they sound. You dig what I'm talking about? This is not racist. This is just us not willing to be dominated and wanting to do right. So we don't even pronounce the names right. Remember, it's ah, eh, I, o, u. That's just vowel sounds. Ah, eh, I, o, u. Everywhere in the world, but except with the Paleo persuasions language, this is how the vowels sound. So it's not te, it's A, and E, which sounds like I. Tai. A, E, O, U. Every other language in the world, those are the vowel sounds. Only in English. Only in the colonizing language, which we speak today, do we twist it up. So let's get to it. And Tai prayed to Jehovah for light and knowledge as to how best he could accomplish good for the resurrection of the race of man. Now, also, Tai is not one person, right? Remember, it's representative of man, right? So many people come in who are esteemed wise and good above all others are called Tai. And Tai prayed to Jehovah for light and knowledge as to how best he could accomplish good for the resurrection of man. And Jehovah answered Tai, saying, "Go, bring my people out of Uz and establish them in a place by themselves. For now is the beginning of the founding of my kingdom on earth." Tai answered, saying, "Behold, O Jehovah, I have gathered together many men and women, and they all profess a desire to establish your kingdom." But look, one desires to be a teacher, another to be a superintendent, another an overseer, another an advisor. And they are all learned, wise and good in their own way. But alas, they are neither workers nor capitalists. Look what he say. They are neither workers nor capitalists, the two chief attributes of all that I require. Now I pray, O Father, what shall your servant do? And Jehovah answered Tai, saying, "Go seek and bring out of Uz, out of the cities, out of decadence, out of destruction." These ugly, horrible places where ugly, horrible things go and are birthed and succeed. Go to the cities. Go to Uz and bring out of Uz orphan babes and castaway infants and foundlings. Now, in the beginning, when I first read this, the first thing that came to my mind, as I like my split team, is how are we just gonna get these babies up? How we just gonna go get them? Huh? How we just gonna go get them? Who gonna give them up? But then I start looking at the world, how ugly it is, and I start looking at the CPS system. And that last year in Michigan alone, 3,300 children just came up missing. Poof, they're gone. They don't exist anymore. They just don't exist. So who gonna fend for them? Huh? Who gonna go get these babies? The creator gang is. Right? So look what he said. Go seek and bring out of Uz, out of the cities, orphan babes and castaway infants and foundlings. That was hard for me to wrap my mind around until I really start looking. And I start seeing that they don't care about these babies. They'll just give them away. And these, the babies, shall be your colony, which shall be my new kingdom on earth. Tai inquired, "What can a man do with babies? How shall I feed them? Moreover, I do not have money to hire nurses." Look what he worried about. Look, You trying to ask Creator, how is this going to work? Look what Jehovih say. Have faith in your Creator and a good work done for my little ones. Behold, I will provide. Huh? Just for all the work. I'm sufficient for all my creations. I am the Creator. There is nobody beside me. Whatever look what he say. Look at your father, man. Look at your father. Whatever you do for them little babies, you likewise do for me. Huh? In which case you shall not fail. Neither shall you have anything to do. Look. Neither shall you have anything to do with any adult man or woman who is without faith in me. Behold, my peoples are infants in this era. How many of you are willing to admit you are babes in this information? Many of us, if you admit to yourself the truth, haven't even been in this truth a year. Huh? And neither shall you have anything to do with any adult man or woman who is without faith in me. So when they badmouth the Creator gang, huh? When they badmouth these gods in training, the Nirvanian gods and goddesses, huh? Remember, they don't know us. They don't see the work. Huh? They don't know that a gang is no different than a brotherhood. It's just about what work you're doing. If we was over here shooting and gang banging, and y'all wouldn't even have nothing to say. But since we over here raising the people up from the term my brother Selah Shalom coined, the God spell, huh? But because we are waking them up and you don't have, and they don't have faith in the Creator for real, huh? Don't even worry about it. We ain't got nothing to do with them. This is for the lady online who be hating. This is for the other guy in Europe talking about in 1895 a so-called Oahspe cult killed 2 babies. You dig what I'm talking about? They was charged, but they didn't get found guilty. But it's funny that it seems that it's many of the pale-faced faithists who got a problem with how we moving, because it's not how y'all been moving for the last 50, 60 years, y'all, or since y'all didn't had a Oahspe before the turn of the 20th century. It's y'all who been messing up. And now we come with this new thing, this new sauce. We pumping Jaja for real. We opening up the sealed scrolls. Since it's gotten to the hands of these melanated folks, Oahspe has grown exponentially. While it was hidden and tucked away, while our pale-skinned brothers had it and it works. The works don't benefit the people at whole. Many of the groups, notice this also, many of the groups that claim to be faithists, right, are really 501c3 nonprofits. This is why they won't go out against religion. This is why they won't speak against government. This is why they won't speak against the wrongs that they people have already done to my people. Huh? The brother brought out, I ain't even gonna say his name. He ain't worth it. None of them are. I'll never give you no props on my shit. The brother was crying about the 2 babies that they say were starved to death. They were charged, but they weren't found guilty of it. Right? Y'all believe in the law, right? Law say they wasn't guilty. Now, it's sad that the babies died in 1895. But you know what else happened in 1895 that y'all not talking about? 119 lynchings by your pale forefathers against mine. Why ain't you talking about that? Why ain't you bringing that up? Why ain't you trying to right that wrong? Instead of trying to turn people away from the word of the Creator. This is the only book of its kind. And you trying to poison it with your white madness. Neither shall you have anything to do with them niggas who talk bad about us and who is without faith in me. Jehovih, behold, my people are infants in this era. Deal with them. Deal with them. And with only those who are willing to serve them. And when they say them, they're talking about the children. If they ain't willing to do the work for the babies, you can't even come in. And as revealed in the book of Judgment, if I'm not mistaken, and for those who trying to come in and claim that they faithers, it's not that easy, homeboy. You trying to marry my daughter, you got to at least prove yourself for a year. You got to prove you about the Creator's work. We don't care about what your words say. We don't care about what you talking about. Because if you don't have faith in your Creator and in a good work done for my little ones, we don't need you. We don't need you. But let's get to this apocryphal text real quick. This is deep, y'all. Check this out. Let me see if I can blow it up just a little bit. This is the book of Gradius, or Gratias. Excuse me. This is the book of Gratias. The first thing when I looked at the word Gratias, it reminds me of the word gracious. And then I look a little further and it say Levitica. Now, the crazy part is we know who the Leviticans is. But let's get a clear understanding on this. Chapter 1. S, or Is. The daughter of Jehovih said, in the name of Jehovih, greeting unto all people. As by and through him all things are accomplished, so shall we remember that through our own short-sightedness, we oft interpret things wrongly. For in after time we discover that what happened was for the best, especially in extending the brotherhood of mankind. In founding of Jehovah's kingdom in Shalom. His chosen had many trials. Listen. Now, in the founding of Jehovah's kingdom on earth, his chosen had many trials and difficulties, even as had been prophesied in the Oahspe Gospels. Where in the Oahspe Gospels? In the book of Jehovah's kingdom on earth. But their trials were different from what they had expected. Did y'all expect somebody to come at y'all on YouTube, twisting up, telling lies? Because they say, this is what they say, that in Oahspe, every time a gang is mentioned, it's dealing with Jews, but it's dealing with people. But the fact that is a bunch of people is the gang. It's about what the gang is doing that makes them evil or bad. You could have a gang of doctors out here saving people. What we gonna have is a gang of workers for Jehovah doing these good works for these children in our homes. I don't know what y'all doing. That just means it's a bunch of us. Gang just mean a bunch of us. It's about what we doing. And since you applying white man's terminology to the word gang, you could say that about our government. Aren't our government a gang? Ain't the police a gang? Since you wanna put everybody who's in a brotherhood with a negative light, your police then are in a negative light. So is your fire department. So are engineers. So is your Congress. Don't get it twisted. Because why? Because y'all need to remember that through your own short-sightedness, that you often interpret things wrongly. And ain't it funny that everybody who got something negative to say about Creator Gang has never been part of the gang? We were never asking for you to be in it. You dig what I'm talking about? I even seen a hater during the debate because I schooled him on this same topic. We never asked for you to be in the gang. So we don't care if you call us a gang or not. We call ourselves a gang, but it's about what the gang represents as its basis. And then, more importantly, or secondly, further, what it actually does. This is what we do. We just read what we do. What we do, Cosmine? Have faith in our Creator and in the good work done for the little ones. Why? Because Creator will provide. Whatever you do for them, you likewise do for me. Now, in the founding of Jehovah's kingdom in Shalom, his chosen had many trials and difficulties, even as had been prophesied in the Oahspe Gospels. Now, mind you, the book of Gradius is all prophecy. They always say, do Oahspe got prophecy in it? We the only book that got prophecy in it. And not only prophecy that we can see today. I ain't got to look 2,000 plus years ago to see a prophecy come alive. I can look today and see our prophecies coming alive right here in the book of Gradius. or Gratias. But their trials were different from what they expected. Why? Why was it different? People came amongst them who were unsuited to the work and to whom the work was not suited either. They wasn't in harmony. They didn't have no symmetry. They couldn't dance to the music. So just like the sister who put up that BS post about the Creator gang, remember in that same post, she said, I don't even understand hip hop. I really don't like hip hop. I don't really get it. So not only is she not in symmetry or in harmony, she can't even catch the rhythm of the music. So we're going to take her ideal of what a gang is over what the Creator reveals to us. And first of all, gang is an acronym. Dumbass niggas. Now, my brother said this, and he right, man, and I hate that I gotta do this. But if I don't call y'all dumbass niggas, if I don't call you drunks, spiritually low fuck boys who worship a spiritually low deity, you won't listen. If I don't add the bullshit in, you won't listen. But when I crank it up, turn it up, oh yeah, y'all come in and check on in. Huh? Y'all check on in. That's just showing your low spirit rate. But I'm calling to you because we raise up drunks and drooges over here. Creator gang. You bring them, we'll raise them. Huh? And don't listen. Let's go a little further. People came amongst them. People talked about who was unsuited to the work and who the work was not suited to them. Some of these went away of their own accord, but some had to be sent away. Yet much time elapsed before this resulted. Why? They was faking the whole time. We had to peep them out. Finally, the chosen, those who chose, were separated and unmolested. And they began the work commanded by God, Jehovah's Son. Now, out of the aforesaid trials and difficulties, a new condition was born into the world. Levitica, the joy of man. You're going to have a whole new joy in your heart. Don't they say, I got a joy down in my heart? Huh? Creator say, you do my work, just do the work. I'm going to supply everything you need, more than what you could believe. And not only that, I'm going to put a joy in your heart that's going to permeate the whole society. And then it's going to not only permeate our little kingdom here on earth, it's going to go to the next one, and we're going to found another one. It's going to go to the next, and we're going to found another one. And it's the joy of doing this work for these babies. How many of you do 25% of good works for another man every day? Don't you dare come to me. Don't you dare come to me talking about what we do up here. Nobody in the world is putting in more work than the Creator gang. And it's going to get better. But before speaking of Leviticus, a brief sketch of the condition of man should be made. He had been carnivorous for hundreds of generations. Passion, anger, disputation, opposition, and self-conceit were his strongest attributes. Were it not after the Cosmine era, 1848, let's just take the first 100 years. 1848 to when the war stopped. 1948. Huh? What was the condition of man? He was full of passion and anger, and he went to war. Disputation, opposition, and self-conceit. Didn't he enslave man in America? And then, why they call it self-conceit? Because they was lying about it. Because they said that all men were equal. You said it, that this was the home of the free. You said all men was equal, so God put that on you. Huh? And it played back this opposition, this disputation, this self-conceit. That was your strong attributes, your anger. Takes a lot of anger to create chattel slavery. Chattel slavery had never went on ever in all the world. I'm not saying Christian slavery was good. I'm not saying Islamic slavery was good. I'm not saying slavery under the Romans, slavery under the Babylonians, slavery under the Persians, slavery up under the Egyptians and the Assyrians was good, but it was different than what these evil, heathenistic, barbaric people thought up in America. Nobody had did chattel slavery before. So you had to be in a horrible place spiritually to even conceive it, let alone put it into practice. Even where gentleness and amiability manifested, they were generally cloaks, to hide the selfishness within. His antagonistic proclivities had become national, and nations themselves were comprehensive manifestations of the same selfish and antagonistic characteristics. Governments were organized on a basis of might, offensive and defensive. War and threatening standing armies were the pride and reliance of all nations. It's still today. Huh? How many people said, we Americans, we got the biggest, baddest army in the world? You free over here? Huh? How many people you done heard say that? I wish they might drop a bomb on there. We'll whack their shit out. Turn it to a parking lot. Huh? How many people you done heard say that? Why? Because standing armies were their pride and still is. Because standing armies was their pride and reliance of all nations. Still is. This is prophecy. This is prophecy. They're talking about a time to come after it already happened, but telling it before. Faith in Jehovah had disappeared from nearly all the people of the earth. Sad. Neither could man be made to comprehend what was meant by the words, faith is in Jehovah. They still don't. Carnivorous diet had reduced him to be little more than a carnivorous animal and a fighter in the struggle for life. The people were of four kinds. Listen up. First, turbulent and quarrelsome. Second, silently selfish. Third, hypocritical, smooth-tongued. And fourth, paupers and dependents. The dependents comprise the vast majority. Hold on, let's go up here. The vast majority of the dependents comprise the vast majority of the people. So the poor, the paupers. The people justified war. Did they not? Do they not still? Everybody who is a Bible thumper justifies war. Even my Hebrew and Israelite brothers, my Israelite brothers, my Nazarenes and Essenes, they don't justify it. But my Hebrew Jewish brothers do. But then when we ask them, well, if your God came down in the dream and told you today to kill everybody firstborn, yours too, would you do it? Oh no, man. Well, then you not even a follower of the Creator then. But once you figure out that the Creator is against war, then the next logical question is, who is this nigga telling me to kill all these babies then? Let me take a look at this. Let me be smart enough to just step back and not get in my own way. But no, they don't want to do that. They want to be right more than they're willing to be righteous. Why? Because the people justify war. Offensive and defensive. Wherever a prophet was promised. War is politics with blood. And politics is war without the blood. Their boast and glory was in invention of ships of war and weapons of death. This spirit reacted back again on the people and manifested in their private and public transactions. Though the priests and the preachers cried out peace, the example of all the world was against them. But these same expostulators for peace crippled their own efforts by telling the people any man should be called good and have salvation, no matter what crime he committed. Isn't this dumb diversus? They've been doing this to you since 1452. Pope Innocent. If you haven't read about dumb diversus and the documents of discovery, y'all better get to reading. Learn about the Inquisition. Learn about the Jacobite Wars. Learn about the 30 Years' War. Learn about the War 1812. What happened? The priest told them, ain't nothing you could do so wrong, and you already got abnegation of all sin. So go kill these people. You're doing it in the name of Christ. And Yeshua, it's okay. Yeshua forgives you. Go turn Iraq into a parking lot. But these, the same expostulators for peace, the priests and all of them, crippled their own efforts by telling the people any man should be called good and have salvation, no matter what crime he committed, provided he call on the name of their Savior before death. But it was not possible for so fixed a religion to keep pace with the growth and intelligence in man. And as a consequence, many people revolted in heart against all religion. When did this happen? Anybody know? Anybody ever heard of the 1960s? This was written in 1881, y'all. But hypocritically concealed their convictions for their profiting success in the life struggle made this politic. Didn't it? Flower children? Thus, the ignorant and dependent still remained as accessories to this mischievous religion. Physiologically, flesh diet had made man foul from the sole of his feet to the crown of his head. Nearly all people had some ailments, listen to this, as weak lungs, back, throat, chest, or rheumatism, catarrh, which is like a cancer, kidney weakness, prolapses. Uh-oh. If y'all don't know what a prolapse is, go look it up. I ain't gonna get into that. Decayed teeth. Who still got the worst teeth in the world? Or deaf ears. Yea, the people smelt so of flesh and blood food, they could only be compared to flesh-eating animals. They smoked tobacco, and to hide their smell, they anointed themselves with various perfumes. Who was doing this during this time? Who wasn't taking care of their teeth? Who said it was a sin if you showered more than twice a month? Oh yeah, that's in the religions. Look it up. What wonder was it that man intellectually and spiritually dumb was what? What wonder was it that man was intellectually and spiritually dumb as to the object and use of his creation? How was it possible to teach such a being a new religion and a new way of living? Who but very gods could approach his stubbornness and self-conceit with good results? 3 words: religion, goodness, and cleanliness. He could not understand. True, he bathed himself, but the while he fed himself on the carcasses, on the loins of animals and fish, till he was like a pest house. What? Added to his grossness, he wore close-fitting clothes. Who did? Retaining dead and exudations of his skin as a perpetual poultice of filth. Oh. Now, basically, what they're saying is right there. Now, do y'all remember the Peanut Gang, Charlie Brown and the Peanuts? Where they had the little kid that was a little, everywhere he went, he had the little dusty dust cloud up off of him. People was really like that. Just nasty, filthy. You did want to talk about wore their clothes so much that they skin peeled in their clothes and they just sweated on top of it and wore it. And you know what I mean? You may bathe every now and then, but then you put more BS in your body and then don't bathe for another long time. Who is wearing these close-fitting clothes? That don't even make sense. In the southeastern, midwestern part of the United States to wear close-fitting clothes. So who was doing this? It get too hot for niggas. Niggas get too hot. Man, it's too many niggas in one place. No, we got to move. What your grandma do in church? Sit there and fan herself the whole time. Retaining dead and exudations of his skin in perpetual poultice of filth. That's that little dust cloud. Everywhere you go, you just leave a little bit of stanky. Not knowing what a clean corporeal body was. How was it possible to provide him with a knowledge of a spiritual body. Not knowing what a clean corporeal body was, how was it possible to provide him with the knowledge of a spiritual body? Public opinion had also become a great bondage. When it happened, as it sometimes did, that a person awoke to a higher inspiration in regard to man's creation, prejudice was so against him, he could not embrace what he wished without becoming a target for the unclean to shoot at. How's it feel, creator gang? They put their personal opinions, and public opinions out against you. How does it feel? Well, I'll tell you like this, it don't feel good. But at the same time, Oahspe is on emancipation. The creator is liberty. So you know what I could say to them people? Fuck you very kindly, sir. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go over here and I got work to do. I can't even care what you're talking about. We're gonna learn why what they're trying to do won't work. It don't matter. Let them hate. They just bringing us more clout. Because when you come over here to the creator gang and you actually hear what we're doing and you see what we're doing, you're going to say, no, that ain't what I heard about y'all. What y'all doing is something different. They got a fella out there right now named Charleston White who came in, was doing all the right things. Saying the right stuff. Nobody cared. When he started putting that little bit of negative in there, then they start listening. When he start telling the truth on you niggas. You dig what I'm talking about? Now, when it happened as it sometimes did that a person awoke to a higher inspiration, when you got this Oahspe in regard to man's creation, right? When you got this Oahspe, what happened? Everybody start hating on you, didn't they? Prejudice. Don't they prejudge that book? Never read it, never seen it, don't know nothing about it, but they swear, talk about it like they do. Ain't they prejudiced every time they see it come from or was written through a white man? Don't they prejudge it? Prejudice was so against him, he could not embrace that which he wished without becoming a target for the unclean, for that female over there, for the guy over there in the UK. They got people in this group right now who hate on me. You dig what I'm talking about? Hate on you too. You dig what I'm talking about? They hate on you too. But they right in the group. They sitting there. They be watching. They don't say nothing. You dig what I'm talking about? But I see them saying stuff on other people's channels. Oh, yeah, Cosmo, I see it all. I see it all. You dig what I'm talking about? I just don't say all I see. You dig what I'm talking about? But I be seeing y'all. Why you think I have like 26, 30 likes on a page, but then I look back and see how many people actually watched? Be like 200, 300. Because they know I'm telling truth. And you know I don't give a damn about what you say. so I can't be stopped. I ain't got no fear. Nothing. You can't put me in no jail. Tougher than me. You can't even kill me and stop me. Huh? Go ahead. See what happened to you. See where this word goes in. When they say, oh yeah, they killed him because of his faith. Because he a faithist. Because he believed in the Creator. See what happened. Go ahead, do something to me. Jaja got a trick for you boys. Huh? Why? Because we can't even embrace the higher light without becoming a target for the unclean to shoot at. And if a man should sell all he had and give to the poor, he was looked upon as a lunatic. He was locked, If a man should sell all he had and give to the poor, he was locked up in a lunatic prison. As a madman, they don't know the Creator. They don't know his ways. Huh? Communal living is the only way. It's the only way we beat white supremacy. It's the only way you can beat the capitalist society. Added to all the foregoing, a most corrupt competitive system of living prevailed, and an undercurrent of warfare in the struggle for life lay down in the hearts of nearly all people. Now, therefore, when God, Jehovah's Son, sent down from heaven the new Bible, the Oahspe, the book of earth, air, and spirit, commanding the chosen to come out of ooze and be clean and be prepared. Listen. Got to come up out of there. It's coming, y'all. I don't care who working. Cosmon working. It say come out of that shit and be clean. Huh? Tell me something negative about Oahspe. Just one thing. Show me one thing in the whole text that's negative that tells man to do. This book has morals. The Bible has not one moral standard in it. It even says you can rape and genocidally rape and force a woman who was conquered to be your wife after a month if you shave her hair and cut her nails. Your God justified the rape. That's another man's wife. You killed him, kidnapped and captured his wife, cut her hair and her nails off, and then forced her to have sex with you. That's in your statutes, laws, and commandments. Come up out of her. Come up out of Babylon, oh Israel. He said, I'm commanding the chosen. You believe you chosen. Come out of ooze and be clean. Stop eating that shit. And be prepared to found the Father's kingdom on earth. Many heard, but they understood not. Now you got Malachi. Now you got Selah. Now you got Cosmon to deal with because you understood not. They thought they was prepared. You niggas was lacking. Like my Chicago brothers will say. You was lacking. You thought you was prepared. That's what your dumb ass get for thinking. And not knowing. There's a difference between belief and knowing. And many came forth to Shalom hastily. They want to get away from this shit. They know something wrong. Something is off. Your whole government is against you. It has set itself up as a person to attack you. Don't they tax you left and right? Don't they make you pay for a land they don't own? They don't own none of this shit. The people own this shit. Anywhere where you can put a home, you should be able to have. They don't own none of the land. Look at our ancient forefathers. They told us they lived all up in here. Clan with clan, next to clan, tribe next to tribe. They said, we don't own none of this. It's the creators. We just here. We got used to this. We make use of this. This our little part right here because he allowed us to. We got to get back to the old ways, man. Not the old ways. We got to get back to that old love, that communal living. Just like the Nazarenes lived. Just like the Essenes lived. Just like the Israelites lived. Everybody got it. Ain't no low. Ain't no high. Everybody up. All the way up. Huh? And many came to Shalom hastily. These niggas gonna be running when we set it up. Forgetful of God's commandment that they were to be constitutionally grown to the new life. That's why it's not just happening. Nigga, we got our own shit to come over to overthrow. But Oahspe teaches how to get out this white supremacy. How to get out from under the thumb of the dominant society. We don't even worry about it. Because we got too much work to do. We got to get ourselves, what? Constitutionally grown to the new life. Oh, it's coming. This is what we do. This is what we about. As it had been said of a certain drunken man who went and signed the pledge, and straightway said, we temperance people. Drunk ass nigga. He was rebuked, for he had not yet grown to be constitutionally temperate. So how the carnivore gonna tell us not to be herbivorous? How is the man of war gonna tell us to war? When we say, and creators say, oh, nah. They not constitutionally temperate. How the drunk nigga gonna tell me to not drink? How the high nigga gonna tell me not to get high? You getting high. We maintain it. Huh? I'm trying not to do something to one of you niggas. That's what we fighting against. It's evil in high places. And it's evil in ourselves. We not the most high. We not perfect. We just trying to be. Leave us the fuck alone. Now, with many who came to Shalom, they were merely abstained from fish and flesh for a day or a month and said, we faithful. Yet the same corrupt body and contentious spirit was within them. Their habits were disassociative. This is why you see those dudes, the people all by themselves talking. 1, 2, 3 little motherfuckers. You go look at their page. I've been on here a month and 2 weeks, if that. Even I got 3, 4, 5, and I know I'm not the taste for everybody. I'm not the bee's knees for the fakers, the backbiters, the haters, the fake niggas, the fuck niggas, the God praisers, Lord gobblers. The Lord said, no, you ain't getting none of that over here. We ain't with the fuckery. Their habits were disassociative. You don't want to be gang. So guess what? You ain't. And we never asked you to be. Instead of associative. We do this for the creator, man. We love this, man. This entity. We love it. We love his creation. My brother is his creation. How can I not love him and he going through the same thing I am? He's struggling just like I am. It's just these one little people with 1, 2, 3 little people following them. Huh? Create a gang growing every day. Unstoppable. Huh? And when some of them perceived their own condition, they said, if we go back to ooze, look at them. How can we prepare ourselves for Jehovah's work? We now perceive that we should live separate from the old conditions of several years from the old conditions for several years before we can be prepared for the work of Jehovah hath called his chosen to accomplish. It was this kind of people, the niggas who said they was body, but was really not with it. They really couldn't get it. They was disassociative. Them niggas. It was to this kind of people that the thoughts and prayers of the chosen were turned, having faith that a condition could be provided for in time to come, so that it is not of the wicked. So that it is not of the wicked who came to Shalom to rule all or to ruin all, and who were sent away. That contemplation is necessary. Sufficient was the judgment that came upon them. Thus it came to pass that many felt the inspiration of our Father to help bring into the world a new and better condition, but were not constitutionally prepared for a Cosmon home. That's what we making. For a Cosmon home. These other dudes, they want to do it. They're not quite ready to give away all their old things that they're bound to and work for the Creator through the children. So they're trying to figure out a way. Well, you know, is there anything we can do, guys? Huh? And look. And yet, many of these were not bad people under good circumstances. Is America a good circumstance to you? Not if you melanated. Now, they was good people under good circumstances, perhaps extraordinarily good. Many had isolated habits, desiring houses of isolation where they could manage in their own way. Others had children of their own, which required all their time and attention. The children were undisciplined, and the parents were undisciplined, and knew not what discipline meant. Now the Archicosmon had commanded that the Father's kingdom should be of orphans and foundlings and other uncared children. Others who came were so desirous of isolation that they could not work harmoniously in groups as an association. They can't be gang. They don't get it. They're low. They can't perceive. They want to be isolated. I want to be right. But nevertheless, it finally came to pass as stated, Jehovah provided Shalom with the chosen alone. Huh? Only Cosmonians allowed. If you ain't willing to do the work, what do we need you for? For real? Think about it. If you ain't with the shits, why are you here? Go home, Trey. Let me out, doe. That's what they asked. Let me out. Where you going, man? Let me out, doe. Undisturbed by the presence of other people. This is what we got coming. and the work was fully begun. I can't wait. We gonna be the first ones building these first homes, doing this first work. Huh? Who else gonna do it? If they would have did it, they would have been done it. And they'd have been pumping it as, come on. If you will faith this for real, come on. But they ain't did it. Why? Because really, they are not, they could not work harmoniously in groups as an association. Look at us. Every one of us is from a whole different part of the world. We got faith that's in Brazil and all in the islands in Mexico and Costa Rica and Venezuela and I got a faith this homeboy from Argentina. It's way on the bottom of the map. Huh? This light is going to be all comprehensive. This is why it's called Earth, Air, and Spirit. Because Jaja ain't missed nothing. So this is how you know this was in the very first text. Because it's telling what's going to happen in Jehovah's kingdom on earth. Huh? Many who were sent away and some who went away of their own accord repeated the very words that had been prophesied years before, saying a pretty Jehovah's kingdom. Some who went away and some who were sent away obtained considerable sums of money by fraudulent representations. So they out here faking being faithless, getting money. Some goods and money was also stolen by the departers. And the world's people said, why do not the Cosmons, huh? They always ask me why I call myself Cosmon. Huh? Because I'm of the time. And I'm right on time. They say, why do not the Cosmons? A Cosmon is a non-owner of any and everything. A Cosmon home is a place for caring for and raising up foundling and orphan children. So they asked, why don't the Cosmons arrest them and send them to prison? But the Cosmons said, nay, we came not here to live in the old way, but to build a home for little children. This is the purpose. And to teach them to be non-resistant. Whoever will steal from us, stealeth from the Father's children. You don't think they got it coming? We don't got to bust a shot. You won't win. Y'all don't see the works of the Creator. What if he couldn't have got that money and he'd have been real salty, right? And he'd have did something to the babies. Now it's looking like we did something to the baby. Because this nigga affiliated. Huh? Y'all don't see how the Creator works. The Creator's ways is not man's ways. So we let him get away with it, and we gonna let him. Why? Whoever will steal from us, if you can steal from us, first of all, we still Cosmonian. If you can steal from us, just know that you stealing from the Creator and the Creator's children. Nor did the Cosmons take any action against the persons mentioned, but rested entirely in faith in Jehovah. Now, during the time of these trials, many slanderous tales were published in regard to the Cosmons, instigated by the persons who had been sent away, instigated by these niggas who saying they faithless. And because the Cosmons indulged not in strong drink and flesh diet, They were also derided and abused by the world's people of dissipated habits. And these entered more or less into an alliance with which such had been sent away for the circulation of slander. I can't make this up. If y'all don't see we live in this right now, you blind. This didn't happen before, but it's happening really now, ain't it? Y'all didn't even see people in the group go out and badmouth the group. You seen it. And they got with other people who was saying they was fake. What they was doing? And these entered more or less into an alliance. See, but they need all that. Huh? The Creator say he don't move. He moves like an army. Like a gang. Huh? Ain't no one angel. Ain't no one prophet. Say there's going to be millions. So you going to need all the hating ass help you going to get. But that ain't going to stop no work from getting done. How about that? Huh? They went into an alliance. You needed help. Get some more demons over here. Get some more Drujas. Cosmon just turned up. His light too high. Huh? Y'all better be lucky. The world better be lucky. I got Jehovah in my life. I wasn't the best guy ever. But you better be lucky. And I am loved. I know I'm blessed. I know I'm favored too. Because I done came from way worse. So you think these little hating ass niggas gonna stop anything? You think they pump fear around here? This why we call it a gang, and this why they scared. Because only a hoe ass nigga ain't gonna come around the gang. We know you hoes. In your heart, you a bitch nigga. Huh? We know it. That's why you can't be around us. Your light too low. So if you worried about a word, be your punk ass scared. Huh? Because you're going to need an alliance. You're going to need a crew. We ain't coming by ourselves. We move like in the second resurrection. Huh? Thousands of us moving in power is coming. You can't stop it. Which such had been sent away. So the niggas who got sent away and the niggas who left got with some niggas who was already hating. Right? For the circulation of slander, for bad mouth, mealy mouth, and gum bumping. But the Cosmons retaliated not, saying, this is to be Jehovah's kingdom, not ours. We know not what is for the best in the long run. We suffer him to manage these things in his own way. We are here to work. Huh? We don't give a damn if we don't care what you got, what you thought, what your title is. Nigga, if you're not ready to put your hands in the dirt, we don't need you. Because what we here to do, we here to work. And to do what good we can. Nor do we lament for anything that occurreth. We ain't crying over this shit. The faith is the realest. Huh? Jaja ain't make us no punks. He ain't soft. So how he gonna make some soft-ass sons and daughters? Why you think you going through the shit you going through? It's to harden you. So you're not ashamed for loving and doing right. Even in the face of when it's tough, you're going to do right because they can't scare you. You ain't writing no statements. You ain't snitching. You ain't turning over. You ain't going with another nigga to go slander your brother. We got a foundation higher than that. Look. Look at this. Look at this. Now then of Leviticus, which was sprung from what had happened in the first founding Shalom. And as the latter was for unprotected and small children, their teachers and nurses, so was the former for adults, single and married, with their own children, and especially such as desired to live in isolated houses and to work and to manage in their own way. The Cosmons were strictly non-owners, but we all got everything we want. There ain't no lack. Why? Because everybody works for everybody. Even the babies working for themselves. Huh? No idle hands around here. We get it over here. We get to clean your body out. We get to good works doing to others. What you don't get. We get that if my seed marry his seed, that's how we keep Wu-Tang money all up in the family. Huh? Hip-hop is our culture. It's the way we got to understand this. The 5 points of hip-hop are the same as that of the creator. Huh? Look at the timeline. It came in 1969. The Cosmon was strictly non-owners. We don't own it. Everybody own it. I live here. But it's paid for. I ain't got to worry about ever being put out. My kids gonna get this land. Oh, Oahspe speak about that too. Oahspe don't miss nothing. Creator don't miss nothing. Watch this. The Cosmons were strictly non-owners, as the name signifieth, whilst the Leviticans were non-owners of land and houses, but owners of household goods and other property. But then look how your creator say, man, okay, y'all may not be here, but y'all right here. I got a place for you too. Watch this. Watch this. This is what he did with Leviticus. The niggas who wanted to be right couldn't quite get it right, but they was willing to do some work. They believed in the creator, but wasn't willing to do the work. That's the niggas. Huh? Now, this then was the beginning of that doctrine. Non-ownership of land by an individual, yet all these people were faithless. In fact, look. All honor and glory to thee, O Jehovih, creator and dispenser, worlds without number. Thou art ever present and mindful of such as serve thee for righteousness' sake. Hear us, O Father. Thou hast commanded thy chosen to come forth out of the world, where they may serve thee by helping to raise up a new race. Look what's happening. You worried about white man's. You worried about Chinese this. Creator sent God to do what? Raise up a new race. These babies gonna be admixed whether you like it or not. How you know you ain't? Better do that genealogy. Who may be taught how to live in plenty and peace. Now behold thy servants. Now, because see, they need to be taught to live in plenty and peace. Like who? Like the cosmons. We already got plenty. We already got peace. We trying to get our brother some. And look, we didn't pray for it, and look what didn't happen. Behold, O Father, we have gathered together thy little children and allotted teachers and guardians to them after the command of thy holy ark. What ark? Cosmos. In which thou hast blessed us and them, for which we sing in thy praise and return thanks unto thee. But behold, O Jehovah, the voice of many people cometh unto us, saying, I cannot come to Shalom, for I have children of my own. I am also bound in duty to my kindred, who are in need of my help. I have old habits to which I am bound. Nor am I constitutionally grown up to live the life of the holy ones in Shalom, of the Creator gang, where ye live without animal food, even milk and butter, and eat not after noon, where ye speak not on personal matters, but strive to live after the manner of the adepts of the East, without idle gossip and trifling conversation. Now hear me, O my brethren, for I worship not any God born of woman, but Jehovah alone. My surrounding in the world will not permit me to live in peace under formed habits of dress, diet, and religion. In my neighborhood, I am mocked and made as a target for the low and depraved. Nor can I do the little good I am inspired to do. As well clothe a pig with a lace gown, as preach a life of purity to these people. Dang, they said you might as well put a little pink dress on a pig than to preach a life of purity to these people. Ain't this how we being treated? A new method of life is necessary. The competitive system must be abandoned. Listen. To help adults to try and elevate them is fruitless. This is why I don't care if none of y'all here. It don't matter. But if I get your babies to hear this one time, they gonna get it. Creator bring it back to them years later after you dead, and they gonna say, you know what? I remember that time my mama was listening to this dude. What was his name? Gotcha. Come on home. Why? Because a new method, not that old stuff in the Bible, not none of the old dispensations and religions. A new method of life is necessary. The competitive system must be abandoned. Listen, y'all gotta get this. To help adults or to try and elevate them is fruitless. The only good that I can perceive must come through the education of the young into a new mode of life. Now, therefore, O my beloved, tell me in what way I can lend a hand to so holy a work as that to which ye have committed your lives and fortunes. And may Jehovah's blessing rest upon you and his little children. The Cosmons prayed. Now tell us, O Father, how shall we answer them? A way surely can be made for all thy people. Because remember, they faith this. They believe in the Creator. They just stuck, trying to make a best way that they can. Huh? He said, we know, man, trying to talk to these people is useless. I might as well teach calculus to a German shepherd. And the Cosmons prayed. What they say? Now tell us, old Father, how shall we answer them? What we gonna say? A way surely can be made for all thy people. Now look, Cosmons still love them. Y'all just went out there and hated on them niggas. You backbited them. You told them the Creator gang was evil. Huh? They didn't understand the flow. Huh? The freedom and liberty organization. They didn't get the flow. They couldn't harmonize. They couldn't catch the rhythm. You just went and hated on them, man. You made YouTubes. You took your time out of your day, hours of your day, to hate on people you don't know. You took hours out of your day to speak about a book you've never read. And even if you do read it, you coming at it sarcastically and not doing the work. Huh? But we over here building, tearing down the old edifice. Because somebody got to do the work in this era. Since y'all not. Creator gang is here, man. Peace to the righteous gods and Nirvanian goddesses. The daughter of Jehovih, said, the light of the Father fell upon his people. Is that the first time this has happened? Remember Moses and them had a light before them and a light after them. What y'all don't understand is a light fell on them. When you start to understand that Spita is the Ark of the Covenant, that'll start to make sense to you. But until you read, I'm just talking Chinese. And the light of the Father fell upon his people, and his blessings came also. For it came to pass that much land fell into the possession of the children. Look, out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. Listen. Listen. Ain't none of this yours. Ain't none of it ours. Huh? For it came to pass that much land just fell into the possession of the children. How? Okay. Maybe when you understand the Lewis, that these babies maybe had to come up out of a person. Oh, not no maybe, they did. Didn't Creator say, I am sufficient? Well, then, for it came to pass that much land fell into the possession of these children. And an answer, remember, this is an answer to some niggas who went out the city, stole your money from you, got with the ops, and start slandering you. You still pray for them. And look what happened because you prayed. It's not because nobody else prayed. It's because Cosmon prayed. The people are the light. The Creator gang prayed. And he even helped these niggas. Huh? Ain't he fair? Ain't that fair? That's mercy. That's justice. Because they want to love him. And we get that. And when you can love my Father, when you can just start to perceive him, it's like a sliver of light in a dark room. On painted windows, and you chipped a little bit of that paint off that window, and a little bit of light came in. When you chip a little bit more of that paint, which is the religious dogmas and subjective ideologies of past times and ancient BS that you stuck in, you chip off a little bit of that paint off that window and let a little more light in. Huh? Because out of nowhere, the children, hence the people, fell into the possession of a whole bunch of land. And when Shalom was portioned off, behold, there was still left more than was possible to till in a day. We done got all we look. We ain't lacking over here. My sister Tikva, where's my sister Tikva? Let me get over here looking at them. Is my sister Tikva in the house? My sister Tikva said, Cosma, I need that back. I need that shower in there. No, man, make AC. So Cosma, I need some AC. I ain't mad at you. We not about to go live in no caves. We not about to do without. We not stepping back into the, no. Oh, no. And that's right. That's right. There we go. That's right. You bring them, we raise them. Druck or Druja. Huh? Man or spirit. Bring that low nigga to this light. We gonna turn up on him like Forgopity did the whole air. Huh? We gonna turn up on him. We ain't gotta whoop your ass. Life is whooping your ass. You need us to pray for you. That's what you do. Why? Because things like this happen for you. You better love your creator. Because that's what got you to prayer. Because these niggas would have stopped caring. They had to work. Cosmons would have just stopped caring. We gotta worry. We can't worry about them. Let's go. These babies need clothes. We gotta shoot. We gotta. But actually, they don't need nothing. Our sisters so too. We're gonna have our own garment district for making the best of the best. The best of the best things only come through faith this anyway. All of it. And look, behold, there was still left more than was possible to till in a day. All of this land was called children's land from that time onward. It was deeded to the children in trust forever. Look what we're doing. And never could be sold to deprive them of an inheritance. The Cosmons decided to open and provide the settlement of this adjoining land by faith is suited to the work. The wisdom grown out of these deliberations, being of Jehovih, was called Gratias. This is why it reminds me of being gracious. Being of the S or the East, or being the spirit thereof. Chapter 3, the call of Gratius. These are the words of Gratius to the faithless in Jehovih in all parts of the world. Hear me, O my brother. and be willing to consider the light of our Father, come from what source it may. The things of this era are not to be judged with the judgment which was suited to ages past. Huh? Don't judge me by that old shit. Well, you shouldn't do this. And why does he smoke? Why does he smoke big fat spliffs? And you dig what I'm talking about? Isn't he working? I'm talking about unselfishly for somebody else, benefiting somebody else. How many of you do that every day? And I ain't talking about your job. Huh? Who you helping? Don't judge me by that old shit. Be alive to the condition of the world as it is now. Huh? It's better to have it than not have it, and not have it and need it, right? The inefficiency of governments and religions now existing today are known to all learned people. If you smart, you see that our government is lacking. You see that the religions don't give any answers. They're not paying grandma bills. Grandma done gave to these people 70 years every Sunday. Bet not grandma light bill get behind. That's what I know. Grandma be sitting in the dark. You ever seen these mega churches? Go check out one of the big, go look, just punch in biggest church in my city, biggest black church in my city, or biggest church in my city, and then go look at the area that's around it. You tell me, is the church inefficient? The inefficiency of governments and religions now existing are known to all learned people. Things are not now as in the olden times. You can't hold me to no law of Moses. Things wasn't like Moses in Moses' time, like they are now. They're different. You got to live to your highest light now. The time was when kings, emperors, pashas, and other rulers owned the people, and the people revolted not, nor knew they were entitled to any other privileges. And in times after that, even private citizens owned and possessed their fellow man. America bought and sold them at pleasure, and the slaves knew not that they were entitled to any other privileges. But the doctrine finally obtained that man could not own and possess his fellow man, and the uprising of the people gave liberty to man the world over. Now is come a new doctrine also, which is that no man can own and possess land for his own individual use or profit, and certainly not for anyone else. That a greater liberty to man must extend, so he will cultivate and use the land, shall have the use thereof. You see that? He who will cultivate and use the land shall have the use thereof. So, just like I stated earlier, America don't own this land. The United States government don't own this land. Creator didn't get him. Who they buy it from? You can't steal it and own it. You can't conquer it and war it and own it. Who's going to make this change? Huh? If you look around, the Aboriginal society, The Negro of America is making this change today. They don't even know they're coming back to Creator. They don't even know that their ancestors only praised the Creator. So when brothers like Chief Holiday and Dane Calloway and a big Aboriginal power, Hawk School, when these brothers get a whiff of what's going on, how we putting it down over here, you don't think I'm about to go get them? You don't think this sit well in their stomach? They get it. They looking for how we gonna do it. This is how we gonna do it. Who leading it? Creator gang. He said he not coming with one prophet. He coming with 1 million. So he who will cultivate and use the land shall have the use thereof. For it is now seen that great estates of land are lying waste and deserted, even whilst multitudes of people have no place to live upon. I just did a little quick research. There was roughly 4.5 to 5 million homeless. There are over 19.6 livable and rehabable homes in America. 19.6 million just sitting and 5 million homeless. Let that sink in. This is a great injustice. And Jehovah is just. Let none thwart him in the progress of man towards universal liberty. Huh? What we scream? Liberty. That's how it feels to be a G. Land is a natural inheritance for whomsoever will cultivate and use it. And to the extent thereof, no man shall countermand the Almighty. And it's right. Not only that, it's in your Constitution. You have the right to congregate and to congregate where you want to without cost. This is what we waking up to. Huh? This is why these young brothers is important. This is why we embracing them. We know this go hand in hand with justice. And what is Creator? Just. Let none thwart him in the progress of man towards universal liberty. We're going to have our own. Why? Because land is a natural inheritance for whomsoever will cultivate and use it. And to the extent thereof, no man shall countermand the Almighty. Poor people shall not be forced to live in the cities because of a few capitalists deprive them of homesteads in the country. For at present, they are compelled to work for wages instead of working for themselves, glutting the market with laborers. Look, is he talking about today? Is this prophecy? You better believe it. Nor shall the young man, listen, brothers, y'all ask what we gonna do. How we gonna get it together? Well, Cosmon got away. Why? Because Jehovah gave it. I don't believe this work. I know this work. Let's put it in effect. Huh? Because they compelled my people to work for wages. Listen. They didn't got y'all so worried about bills and trying to hold on to this and keep that. And, I gotta, and if you work yourself, you worry yourself to death. What y'all don't know is a job is the same thing as slavery is. It's the same thing as an indenture. You go in, fill out a piece of paper. He give you a job to do for a certain amount of time. For that job, he pay you a pittance of your energy, your currency, your current. So he gives you a little bit of currency. Just enough that it make you have to come back the next week. Because they compelled my people to work for wages. They done tricked you and thought you was doing something with your little Ford job. Standing on the line, back bad. 10, 12 hours a day, not moving. Arms just, put this here. And you got to get it because now you're living at a certain lifestyle that commands, that has compelled you to work for wages instead of working for yourself. And look what it's doing to the capitalistic society. The rich is getting richer and the poor get poorer. Nor shall the young man and the young woman fear to marry, lest they bring forth offspring with no place or home to dwell long. But they shall fulfill according to the inspiration of Jehovih, that moveth, the great spirit, that moveth them to fulfill accordingly as he made them, to prevent the manifestation of this desire. Behold, great crimes have come into the world. You ever heard of the black codes? You ever heard of Jim Crow? You ever heard of redlining? Great crime. Nor shall farms be large and half tilled. Did you know the government paid? Our food is through the roof. Anybody been shopping lately? Bought some vegetables lately? Some food lately? Huh? They paid our farmers not to turn in their crops and then turn around and tell us there's a food shortage. Huh? Y'all better wake up. The government is your enemy. Only Jehovah is sufficient for all. Huh? Nor shall farms be large and half tilled as at present today, like they are today. This is prophecy fulfilled today, with the people far apart and no advantages like the people of the cities, but a new condition with attractions and privileges shall be added to the inhabitants of the country. Nor shall young men and women, as at present, flee away from the country to the cities, because their highest faculties are unappeased. But a new way of living shall be opened for them in the country for a higher and holier development. And the cares and fears of making a living shall pass away from them. Is this not today? 174 years later? Go ahead and think JBN just made this up. It's okay. Everybody can't perceive the creator. Nor does everybody perceive him the same. Some people can see him. They see him in the animals. They see him in the trees. They see him in the grass. They see him in the water. Some men can perceive the higher light. But I can't bash you because you can't. Just know that I know you can't. When you can't harmonize. When you don't have the symmetry. When you can't hear the music. Hip hop is your culture. Listen, nor shall mothers and fathers hoard up money for their children, lest they should come to want. For a way is now open for the children, yea, even for the yet unborn also. Look, Creator ain't missing nothing. The sons and daughters of the virtuous and good shall not be obliged on coming to maturity to migrate to some far off country to seek some way of living like they do with America. Huh? They send their babies over here to get a little money and send back over there to try to get a better way of living. This is why they flee their countries. This is why Jehovah made the borders open for these niggas. But they may remain in their own neighborhood as a comfort to their aged parents. How many Nigerians, think about it, if half the Nigerians that was over here prospering went back over there, they could fix their country. But I'm not going to worry about the plaque in my brother's eye, and I don't see this goddamn board in mine. Soon as niggas over here in America get back to understanding and praising your Creator, what does he say? He say you will become supreme on the planet and you shall not fail. Why? Because we doing for the babies. And since you doing for the babies, understand everything you do for them is for me. Come back to your Creator. They ain't gonna want to run away from this. The baby's not running away. And the ones that do go, they gonna go and they gonna be like, this ain't right. This ain't right. Let me go back to my lane. But a new way of living shall be open for them in the country for a higher and holier development. And the cares and fears of making a living shall pass away from them. Nor shall mothers and fathers hoard up money for their children, lest they should come to want. For a way is now open for the children, yea, even for the yet unborn. The sons and daughters of the virtuous and good shall not be obliged on coming to maturity to migrate to some far off country to seek some way of living, but they may remain in their own neighborhood as a comfort to their aged parents. Nor shall young men rove about in the cities or over the world looking for some employment and find none. Nor the father say, I know not what to put my son at. I don't even know what to tell my nigga what to do. You dig what I'm talking about? How many men you know they never said that? You don't even know what to tell you about that, nigga. About their own kids. How many people, honestly, you done heard that? Nor shall the land be given over as an inheritance to swine and beef. You ain't gonna raise nothing over here. To feed the corrupt appetites of a polluted people. So now we're not raising animals on this land for y'all. So y'all can go kill the animals and eat them. We telling you don't never do that. Nor shall man bestow as at present half his labor on the animal world to the neglect of millions who have no place to live and whose children cry out for bread. Let no man imagine his own ideas of country life are correct, for he judges by what he hath seen, which are the old conditions, and which are all to be put away. For the foundation in children's land is a new order and a new method of cultivating and subduing the earth, providing for the spiritual man as well as the corporeal man. Told you, everybody got it over here. Let whosoever worshipeth Jehovah and desireth to do good to his children come. Let all who are Samguans and Sarguans come. Let all who desire. Now, Samguans are like they herbivores. You dig what I'm talking about? They herbivorous, but they eat milk and cheese and all that. You dig what I'm talking about? And Sarguans, omnivores. Watch this. Hold on. There is a, I thought it was at the bottom. Look. Samgua. Fruits, nuts of all kinds, vegetables, roots, and herbs of all kinds. And Sargua. Fruits, nuts of all kinds, vegetables, roots, herbs of all kinds, and milk. Y'all really thought a glass of milk, a bowl of cereal, some ice cream was going to stop Jaja? Is that what y'all thought? Better think again. He got something for you. He say, come. Let all who desire to take part in founding a world where poverty shall not come. Look! This is the bane of the so-called Negro of America. Poverty. And the expanse, that lengthy expanse that stands today between the haves and the have-nots. And until you close that gap, America, until you make right for what was done to a people for hundreds of years, till you get it right, you will not rise and your country will fall. But look what we doing while your country burning. Because ain't going to be no poverty over here. And where all can do some good to help Jehovah's children. Come on. We raise them up. For all children are created alive by him and are his. Before him all are legitimate. Unto all such, here are homes without money and without price. Come, O ye with faith in Jehovah, and inherit them. Let not these come who worship any Lord, any God, or Savior, born a woman. I'm sorry, folks. You with that Bible thumping and all that crazy shit, praising lords and gods and deities, saviors, messiahs, you can't benefit. Sorry. This ain't for you. Because you're not willing to do the work. You still waiting on somebody to come save you. And come kill off somebody else to do it. Let not these come who are disbelievers in the all-person Jehovah. You don't know the personage of the Creator? You can't tell the difference between a Lord and a God and why you shouldn't praise one? You don't know your Creator. And you can't come. You ain't. Gang. Let not these come who eat fish or flesh or drink or use stimulants and narcotics for exhilarating effects. That kill that whole weed shit. Because weed ain't exhilarating nobody. As a matter of fact, it take pain and stop stomach aches and slow you down. Ain't none of that heroin, that drug shit, that pills, none of that. Most of us don't even drink, and like they say, we won't drink. We don't use stimulants and narcotics. So that kill you on your weed talk. You can shut your face about it. Let not these come who are not willing to support themselves. Let not these come. The lawyer, the doctor, preacher, politician, who desire to live by their wits. Uh-oh. Let these not come who desire somebody else to support them. Nor is here any distinction, listen, as to race or color. You're going to have to get over your racism. You're going to have to get over your prejudices. But how do you get over it? By doing the work. White race, you have something to work on. Because you done fucked over a people for a long time. Your granddaddy is in the hells right now. Great grandmama getting fucked over in the lower heavens. And she will not rise till you do right. Huh? And them people come back and afflict other people. For the evil is being repaid to them in kind. So yeah, because your people fucked up. You didn't own no slaves personally, but your great-granddaddy did. Your great-granddaddy was part of redlining, taking people's land, Trail of Tears, indentured, Reconstruction, the War 1812, what is that 1924 act, naturalization, where they start changing all indigenous people to Negroes, where they judged you off how you looked. Oh, grandpa is in a bad way right now, and until you fix it now, today, he won't rise. He can't. He not only bound by what he did, he bound by the effects still happening on the world today. Many of y'all still hate us. It's crazy. Y'all ain't past this shit yet. There is no distinction as to race or color, nor is here the abode of such as to desire to make money for money's sake. The philosophical association in Shalom adopted from the Panic language the following words in place of the words of vegetarian, frugivorant, omnivorant, etc., to which esqua, fruits and nuts, high growing, tequa, fruits, nuts, high growing, annual herbs, and their fruits, samgua, fruits, nuts of all kinds, vegetables, roots, and herbs of all kinds, and sargua, fruits, nuts of all kinds, vegetables, roots, herbs of all kinds, milk. Remember, I hear a lot of people always talking that vegan stuff. Ain't the word vegan is not even in Oahspe. That's some man-made shit that these old faithers done had this long, and then oppress that into the minds of the people that you must be vegan or you're not doing right. That's BS, because it not only say the sargwa take milk, but butter, eggs, and cheese. Therefore, the Cosmons of Shalom are Samguans, and the Leviticans are Sarguans. Just like the Israelites was the people who was doing it all the way right, and the Leviticans was trying to be like them in the past. Same thing. And look, Ungwa, the omnivores, faithists, No, we don't want you to eat a steak, but we're going to also tell you the truth. It ain't going to stop creator love. Long as you're willing to do the work. But you also going to understand that it'll hold you back in the lower heavens. Are you willing to work to get away from the omnivorous life? Are you trying to be a Levitican? Then are you trying to be a San Juan? Are you trying? Are you working? That's all that matters. When the call of Gratius was sent abroad, many people came to Children's Land. And when they assembled together, they desired to learn more of the proposed life. Gratius said, this is called Levitica, because it lieth between Shalom and the world's people. To build here a village and beautify it, so all may be happy. Is this not fulfilling a life in this world? Is this not a fulfilling a life in this world? And if man fulfill in the highest in this world, will he not be best prepared for the next? Where the greatest number of people can live together in peace, plenty, and happiness on the smallest piece of land is the highest civilization. Whosoever desireth the house, let it be given him or her. And the land also shall be portioned to each and every one according to his or her capacity to cultivate and use it. But no more land shall be given to anyone than he or she can cultivate or use. And the same shall be for life. But after death, the trustees shall give it to another, and it shall be for that one during life also. For in that matter are all these lands held. So our babies gonna have some place to go forever, and they babies gonna have somewhere to go forever. Whosoever desireth cattle for milk, not for meat, for milk, let them have them, and a place for the cattle also. But he shall not sell or dispose of the males to anybody to be slain for food. But where the males, as asses, oxen, or wool goats, can be used and not killed for food, suffer the people to keep them. Look, a common storehouse. Look, they don't miss nothing. Cha-cha don't miss nothing. A common storehouse for buying and selling goods shall be maintained so that all who wish to may obtain primary prices. So that all who wish may obtain primary prices. But not one shall keep a store for the sale of goods or for buying goods, thereby living out of the profits. Look, our profits go right back into the community. You spend the money and go right back to the babies. So we can have plenty. You're not missing nothing. Because you don't want for anything. You're not paying for electricity and water and dumb stuff. We're not paying for none of that stuff. That's over with. Look at number 7, though. This deep. Nor shall any lawyer, doctor, or preacher, or other professional person receive money or goods for his professional service. But a day's work for any one of these shall be equivalent to, and no more than a day's work at any labor. Huh? You're supposed to help the people, doctor. Will help them. You ain't getting nothing else. You ain't getting no more than what everybody else get. But for a preacher, as in preaching sermons or marrying people or saying service for the dead, no wages or pay shall be given. Huh? What you think Geno Jennings think about that? What you think Creflo think about that? What you think T.D. Jakes think about that? Huh? Where certain men engage in some manufacture together, no wages shall be given, but the result of their production shall be according to the labor of each and all, and so divided. Don't nobody want for nothing. We all work for each other and ourselves, and we pay ourselves communally, so everybody rich. In every household shall be under the dominion of the person or persons who dwell there within. Look at this. General schools shall be maintained for children by an universal contribution in proportion to their incomes, but manual instruction shall be given to both boys and girls without regard to sex in the various trades and occupations carried on in Leviticus. All householders, even one for each occupied house, shall be entitled to one vote without regard to sex. So everybody gonna have their own vote. 2 worlds are bestowed by Jehovih, the adult world and the world of children under 5. The former is for man, the latter for woman. Listen, nor is one glory greater than the other. Men and women are in accord with Jehovah in proportion as they adapt themselves to their respective places. The people desire to know about the government. Gratius said, where age is respected, discipline is esteemed. A young officer breatheth defiance. Respect to fathers and mothers and to the aged have marked the highest and best civilizations. The want of such respect leadeth in the way of anarchy, dispossession, and misery. Therefore, the oldest inhabitant of the village shall be chief, and he shall be the executor of the majority voice. But where there are more than 10 families, another chief shall be added for them, who shall be the second oldest inhabitant. And the first chief shall be called the seat chief. Each and all chiefs shall be officers for life if they choose, and if they comply with the rules of the village and the decrees of HTIS. And since it is an advantage to the virtue and good behavior of the people of one settlement to know one another, let not Leviticus ever contain more than 1,000 people. When the people saw the way to happy homes, they remembered Jehovah. Huh? When the people saw the gang had a better way, they remembered the Creator and returned thanks to him because he had brought them out of the cities of evil and thus bestowed them. I know faith is who worried about money. I ain't got it. You know what I mean? It's tough right now. We on a budget, and you did what I'm talking about. I don't have no extra to. That's coming to an end. How, Cosmon? Gratias. How, Cosmon? Jehovah's kingdom on earth. We gonna lay the foundation. It's us. There's nobody else in the world to do it. Nobody knows. And when you try to tell them this, they fight you. They get in associations to do what? Slander and backbite you. Because you're trying to get them to do right, to see right, to know it of a certainty, to not believe anything, and to get out of that old shit and be willing to work, not only on yourself, but for others, more importantly. But when the people saw the way to happy homes, they remember Jaja. Huh? I even seen a dude say, "Oh, if you say Jaja, that's a evil demon, a druja." Are you retarded? The Rastafari today. The man know I and I. Huh? They know the difference between Jehovih and Rastafari Selassie. They know Selassie a man. And they praise Jehovah, the Great Spirit, under the name Jehovah too. But in a loving term, and as a allude to the second true God ever, or the second true God in tech, the God in tech, Hajjah. They say Jaja. Huh? You worried about the name. Jehovah say all names is his. Are you willing to do the work? But look, they remember Jaja. And in return, thanks to him, because he had brought them out of the cities of evil and thus bestowed them. With one voice they added, shall we not manifest our gratitude for this new mode of life? And of receiving homes without money or price? Look what we're doing. By extending like a benefit unto others, by extending a like benefit unto others, let this be done. Create a children's fund to be forever. And we will all pay into the said fund 1/10 of our earnings. And the money shall go for the benefit of orphans, foundlings, and other little children. Because we ain't stopped going to get them the whole time. We didn't never stop. We didn't rest on the 6th day and go to sleep. We didn't go get a little baby because it was Sabbath. No, we went and did the work regardless. You see a baby suffering on Sabbath, you're not going to go help them? That's why you can't come in. That's why you ain't gang. And for purchasing more land for children's sake. And all such land shall be open for the faithless and their children forever. To this, the people universally agreed. Well, no, they did. So the people entered into such a compact with one another, even as it remaineth to this day. They talking about prophecy. Because we ain't even made a children's fund yet. But it's coming. Gradius said unto them, a great evil existeth among the world's people. That is lawsuits. Uh-oh. a greater tyranny and curse on the people than was ever exercised by any king or emperor in all the world. Uh-oh. You know how many people? You got people like King Philip, you killed about 10 million people. Leopold. What about King Leopold? Killed all them people in the Congo, cut their hands off, cut their legs off. You saying a lawsuit and lawsuits are a greater tyranny and curse on the people than was exercised by any king or emperor in the world? Let's see what you're talking about. Amongst them, any person can bring a suit at law and inflict great hardships on a defendant without himself being at much expense, whilst the defendant is literally robbed and without any redress, for which reason the court shall be used as a sort of blackmail for evil disposed people, like it is today. See to it, O my brethren, that ye be circumspect in this. Make it a law amongst you, that whoever bringeth a lawsuit must first pledge all he hath to the village. And if he lose the suit, then shall he forfeit his possessions and depart out of the place. Look. But if he win the suit, then shall the one losing it depart out of Leviticus. But in no case shall anyone bring a suit for wages or for debt of any kind. But if a man pay not his debts and his arrangements, a suit may be brought against him to make him leave the place. And if it be proved against him in more than one violation, then shall he depart away. But if a person complain against another, saying he oweth him money or is in debt to him, then the man so complaining shall bring suit with like liabilities. For ye shall guard yourselves against evil and slanderous remarks made about one another. Look at that. There's some people calling they faith this online that can't say this. Make these compacts in writing with all the people who come amongst you and have them sign it also. Make it a law that ye shall settle all matters, if possible, by arbitration before one of the chiefs or before a representative of the Tay. The parties agreeing how many persons shall sit in arbitration, remembering that before Jehovih no contention should exist as to mortal things desired, and that to desire this or that of anyone is not of the Most High, Creator Eoah. If any Levitican employ a Uzian, if any of these faithers employ a Uzian, he shall pay the wages of the Uzian, and also pay a like sum into the children's fund. Because why didn't you use your brother? But okay. Because there's some stuff the Uzian's going to be able to do that we may not be able to do right then. We may not have something at the time. But trust me, all going to be held all in-house very soon. We ain't going to need nobody to build nothing. We don't need it now. But yeah, our own gas stations and everything coming. But in no case shall an Uzian reside or dwell on children's land. You can hire the nigga, but he can't stay. It was good, it was fun, but you got to go home. And if anyone slandereth another, the chief shall call a vote of the people of the village. And if more than half the people vote that the slander has been committed, then shall the slanderer depart out of the place, forfeiting all he hath. Man-made laws are to guard against the evil which hath come into the world. In this, the Cosmon era, man must learn how to live without man-made laws. The virtuous and good have nothing to do in such matters in a place like this. But the opposite of this was the case in the world. We see this today. For there they were even subject to more trials and tribulations than were the vicious. Leave no place for politicians, lawyers, priests, and preachers, for these are more to be guarded against than thieves and robbers. Oh! Let that sit in for a second. Politicians? No. Lawyers? Priests? Preachers? Thumbs down. For these are more to be guarded against than thieves and robbers. Show less admiration for talent, but more for goodness of heart. In a short time, the Leviticans shall demonstrate to whom the most love and admiration should belong. Encourage the worship of Jehovih. And by your behavior, teach the children that his eye is ever upon them, and that his ear heareth all. Moreover, that all deeds done in the mortal body leave their imprint on the spiritual body forever. Did y'all know that? The beauty of the new life. Chapter 6. He said, the founding of Levitica was like the beginning of a new world, in fact. The new method of living soon demonstrated that man needed not more than a tenth the amount of land as in the old way. Look, dispensing with animals lessened the amount of labor nearly one half. Dispensing with professional people and non-producers, and moreover, all the people being producers, soon showed more prosperity and comfort than the people had ever before enjoyed. Let it sink in a second. You see how they live in the communal living. Everything in one pot. The OG over there doing right. Got a whole crew to help him. Everybody got it. And look, we end up being more prosperous than the millionaires and billionaires in the world right now in this society. For effect, just think when we lay this first thing down, we gonna end up, this ain't about money, right? But all of the faith is about to be NBA players. We all gonna have it. And we gonna have more prosperity and comfort than the people ever had before enjoyed. And though the people were permitted to dress as they chose, yet the freedom and adaptation to the climate gave them health and buoyancy of spirits in the new costumes. such as could not be found in all the world beside. The surety of food, clothes, and home comforts gave them peace of mind, so that in a short time, the careworn expression so painfully manifest in the Oahsians today was no more to be seen. How many of y'all daddies came home dog tired, whooped, just to get up and go to a job he hated the next day? No longer for the children of Jehovah. It was saying to the world, what need have we of riches? The happiness which Jehovah giveth to the rich, he also giveth to us. We don't worry about no goddamn money. Why? Because we work for each other. We all got it. Y'all bet not never let me hit the lottery. Oh, Jehovah bless me like that. Oh, Lord, I'm going to show you a trick. I'm going to show you a trick. It's coming. I'm going to come get you because I know who going to do the work. It was saying to Jehovah, look, hold on. It was saying to the world how we living. It was saying to the world, what need we of riches? We ain't worried about that. We all got it. That happiness which Jehovah giveth to the rich, he also give to us. It was saying to Jehovah, blessed is the sunshine, blessed is the mantle of night, blessed is quietness of spirit, for it knoweth no rent. Blessed the songs of the birds and the romping and mirth of the children. Blessed the security of old age. Blessed are all thy creations, O Jehovah. The presence of all nationalities caused the children to make no distinction as to race or color. This is already happening. Your babies don't give a damn what his best friend look like, long as he just stay doing what a best friend's supposed to do. And they mingled together, full of glee and gentleness. The children grew not like other children, as in the world at large, were not sulky and morose, nor sulky and secretive, nor self-conceited, nor seclusive, and with ideas of caste. I'm better than you. You lower than me. I'm from this family. Nor awkward and lonely, but were happy and lively, yet respectful toward one another and towards their elders. Their advantage for manual instruction enabled even those who were quite young to work marvelously, expertly at all kinds of vocations. The entire freedom of the adults to work at whatever they chose and to be communal or cooperative or even isolated gave them an opportunity to develop their talents as Jehovah had created them. Hold on. Okay. Some of the Leviticans worked for themselves, paying into the children's fund 1/10 of their earnings. Some paid in all over and above their living. A few worked in Shalom, receiving merely their food, clothes, and necessary expenses. Some paid in their 10th in labor. Some paid it in produce, and some paid it in money. It soon came to pass that the chiefs and the seat chiefs had little or nothing to do. Y'all trying to work my sister a Hoover? Huh? Y'all trying to work her? No. She need to share that light. And it came to pass that the chiefs and the sea chief had little or nothing to do. Such a thing as a government was scarcely more than a name. Everyone attended to his own business, and order and discipline reigned. Soon the place became a place of beauty and comfort. Its gardens, walks, and places of amusement abounded as never before in a village. The song of women and children and the mirth of men made Leviticus seem as a place of holidays. Look at this. I want to go there. This is where I want to go. If the old religions could produce a place of goodness like this, where is it? Why don't the Israelites have their own city? I'll drop what I'm doing today and go. I want this. The one religion. What's the one religion in the world? Huh? What's the only one that's safe? What's the only one you can't fail in? That means every other one can fail, but the proof is you have already failed. Now shake it off and come get some more light and be ready to work. Because the one religion, to worship Jehovah and to do good unto others, that's all we say. We tell you to slow down on the sandwiches. Slow down on the steaks and the bullshit and do good. And y'all got something to say about you dare toot your lips up to me? You don't have a place where the song of women and children and the mirth of men made it seem like a place of holidays. You ain't got that on earth yet. But come on back over here with the Creator. We got a trick for you. We got something to show you, brother. We got something to show you, sister. The one religion, to worship Jehovah and do good unto others, obliterated all arguments and discussions on such a subject. The silly gossips of atonement and free will, so disgusting in the world, found no place in Leviticus. Chapter 7. It soon came to pass. Look, this is the life of a cosmon. Look. It soon came to pass that the name of Leviticus spread far and wide, and many people pleaded to be admitted for charity's sake. To this it was answered unto them, if ye live the lives of a faithist, you can come. To put away all uncleanliness and to be upright before Jehovah is the foundation whereupon we build. But remember, we do not these things for charity's sake, but to develop a new way of living and a higher race of people. Others wrote asking, cannot I do my missionary work where I am in the world for your benefit? And it was answered them, the time of missionary work with adults is past and gone. They said to provide the young with good surroundings and comforts and give them a moral education is the foundation of the Father's kingdom. Not to slay Amalek utterly. Not to bash the babies' heads against the walls. But to surround them with good surroundings and comforts and give them a moral education. Show me one moral religion in the world. I'll offer you millions of death. A moral education is the foundation of the Father's kingdom. These things cannot be done in the world, but a separate place must be provided. Come on, Aboriginals. The Great Spirit calling you. Y'all been asking what to do. Not an OG talking. Now I'm talking, I didn't even want to do this. I didn't even want to do this because I know it's going to work. I didn't want the headache. But now I'm here. Huh? It ain't about what I want. But I was willing to do the work. Are you? Well, come on and build Levitica with me. Come on, be a Cosmonian. Not following me, following the times of the Creator. Following the way of the Most High. Eoah, who's named after the wind. He ain't sitting on no throne in the sky. To practice the covenants of the Emetha Shabbat, the way of the faithless, to not slander, nor practice the evil word, to do good unto others, to worship one all person who is ever present, but no God, Lord, or Savior born of woman, to engage not in war, nor make use or sell war implements. To not use unclean food, but to bathe and to be clean in body and spirit, thinking no evil of man, woman, or child, with liberty of dress and thought unto all for righteousness' sake. These are the works of a faithless. Stop me and tell me when I tell you something demonic. They call us witches. Good. If this what a witch do, this what a witch do, good. Because it's better than an Israelite, these Hebrews is doing. It's better than what these Buddhists, these Islamists, these Christians. I'd rather be a pagan. Huh? This is the method Shabbat. This is the faithless way. To not slander, nor practice the evil word. To do good unto others. Stop me when I tell you something demonic. To worship the one all person who is ever present. He not in the sky on a throne. He everywhere. No God, no Lord or Savior born of woman. To engage not in war. That means don't kill the Jebusites. That means don't kill the Zanzamim. That means don't smite Amalek utterly. Don't kill the firstborn. To engage not in war. This right here proves that the faithless never went to war, and the people that did go to war and did get enslaved are not faithless. These are your Jews who are trying to usurp and twist up your history and make you ugly as they are. Oh, Israel, listen. To not use unclean food, but to bathe and be clean in body and spirit, thinking no evil of any man. We don't even stud y'all, and y'all hating. We ain't never came out and said nothing against you niggas. We'll never give you no light because we don't give a goddamn. We too busy working. With liberty of dress, we don't care how they dress. And thought. We don't care what you believe. Do you know that the Creator is one? That he is beauty and harmony and symmetry and music and mathematics? Do you know the creative force? Have you got the light of Levitica? Huh? Because thus was established Levitica, and it soon became conspicuous as a village of people who understood the meaning of the words salvation and religion, because religion ain't a thing talked about. Religion is a thing done. It's over with for Pastor Soft Shoe, Reverend Poke Chop, Pastor Poke Chop. It's over. We will have works done. You can't talk us to death. All right, man. Now dig this. This next chapter, chapter 8, it's so deep. It's so deep. Let's switch it up. Let's vibe a little different for a minute. Shout out to Bugsy on the beats. Got that Vortexian heat over here. Let's get it cracking. Just gonna vibe for a minute. We're gonna get right back to it. Cosmon ain't gonna talk you to death. Cosmon want to show you why you special. Chapter 8 of a woman's world. Let me show you why you're so special. The pride and glory of Leviticus was more in a woman's department than in any other opening that had ever been made for her. Listen, this is in the Cosmine era. It's you. The pride and glory of this new system coming that me and you gonna build was more in woman's department than in any other opening that had ever been made for her. This is the time of so-called Eve and Adam. With the world's people, women had been led astray in regard to what ought to be done to elevate mankind and bring about a higher civilization. She too, hold on, let me just get a little bit more volume on this. We're gonna keep the vibe going though. With the world's people, women had been led astray in regard to what ought to be done to elevate mankind and bring out a higher civilization. She too, like other philosophers, had looked for some means of educating and raising up adults, and she hoped with her influence in public affairs, a better result would manifest. But alas, no. Being negative, the public place brought her down. Instead of her helping others up, being negative, the public place brought her down. Instead of her helping others up. For with increasing fluency in argument and words, her gentleness lost its force, and her words were as impotent as a man's. In Leviticus, a new field was open for her, a new kind of education. Look at yourself, master teacher. You're gonna bring something that ain't never been on the planet before. A new field was open. A new kind of, and they say ain't nothing new up under the sun. They're lying. That's just because we ain't let the black woman get to it yet. We ain't let the faithless woman get to it. What she do? She take the orphans and she give them a new kind of education. Huh? For as heretofore, the word education meant book learning merely. It now extended to practical manifestations of manual and moral behavior. Prior to the age at which children here went to public school, they were formed in classes of 3 or more, even up to 10 in a class, where they practiced objective lessons. Even the teaching of maxims for virtuous instruction in religious truths was done by signs, objects, and illustrations. The teachers did not after the manner of the teachers in the world, dwelling and being with the children for a few hours only, and by making them repeat certain words or by addressing them on their duties and obedience. But these teachers lived with their classes from early rising in the morning till they were put to bed at night, making themselves as one with the children in the plays and instructions, explaining such things as self-denial in the practice that came up before them, the non-worship of everything, the doing to one another as one would be done by, selfishness and unselfishness, good and evil words and accusations, talking on personal matters, showing how anger and evil grow out of the same thing, the saying of pleasant things, showing how love is returned therefore, the presence of Jehovah with all children, the growth of the Spirit, so it shall be strong on its road of everlasting life, teaching them of the life and resurrection of the great lawgivers, Chinese, Brahma, Capilla, Zarathustra, Sakaya, Yoshu, and others, teaching them spirit intercourse and the difference between spirits of the first and the second resurrection. Look at y'all. Who else could teach this but a faithless woman? Teaching them of all the dominions and homes of the gods and lords, and of the higher angels, and of other high angels, and above all, making it plain to them who Jehovah, the Creator, who is over all. Maxims, like, for instance, have y'all ever heard of a stitching time saves 9? Maxims suited to these and similar truths were formed by the teachers, and the answers were given sometimes in signs and gestures, and sometimes in both signs and words also. And the teachers took part therein, so that even mere babes played the parts of teachers in these most high and holy doctrines. Look at y'all. These small classes were numerous, and of course the teachers numerous also. And the teachers often conferred with one another and made many inventions pertaining to their work. Look at y'all. Y'all take that look, but y'all have always done this. You've always done this. You took nothing and made something. Even when they gave us the dead carcass of old animals, and you made chitlins, and you did what I'm talking about, and hog head cheese, and even though we don't like that now, but you made something out of nothing. You are backbone. Now you gonna teach the minds, huh? And hence raise the spirits. Y'all so special. These small classes were numerous. That means it's a whole bunch of y'all. This ain't no simple thing. Told you Jaja don't come with one. He come with thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions. The teachers numerous also, and the teachers often conferred with one another and made many inventions pertaining to work. You turn something from nothing. Here was manifest the craft and power of woman to bring a great good into the world, such had never been before. Not in Babylon, not in Sumer, not in Egypt, not in Greece, not on Atlantis, not in Lemuria, not on Pine. You, faithless woman of today, are going to do something that had never been done before. They said, what care we for the affairs of the adult world? In a few years, they will all be dead. Then our little ones be the adults of a higher civilization. And it was so. Added to the maxims were numerous marches, parades, and echo singing. Or this is call and chant, call and response. That's echo singing. That's what they're talking about. Remember, this is from 1881. This is call and response. This happens in hip hop. Everybody say, hey, hey, say ho, 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 say ho, 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 ho. Yeah. Call and response, echo singing. At the age of 5 years and less, listen, look what's happening to the babies at 5. By 5, listen. At the age of 5 years and less, the following results manifested. A little boy being asked what was meant by self-denial went and gave his toys to the others and then sat down contented. Being asked if he did not wish to have them back again, said, the triumph over selfishness is not to want a thing, but is it right to make a child talk about itself as to whether it wishes this or that? All things are Jehovah's and loaned but for a season. This is a 5-year-old. Another boy being asked, what was the best way to establish justice? Answered, for everyone to give up all their wants. When asked, what was the greatest cause of contention amongst men? Answered, the strife for earthly things. It is the animal man in ascendancy over the spiritual man. Flesh eaters in the world are great contenders. I am told this is a 5-year-old. A little girl being asked, what is the great cause of quarrels? Pointed to her tongue and then said, with the tongue words are made. If quarrelers will let it rest, peace will result. Out of the mouth of babes. If y'all stop beating your beak. Stop bumping your gums. Stop mealy mouthing and murder mouthing and do some work. She said, peace will be the result. Another girl being asked the meaning of doing to others as we desire others to do unto us, went and assisted one of her playmates to rise up. Then she said, as we lift others up, so will our Heavenly Father lift us up. We can't get that now. A 5-year-old got this. And we grown ass, stinking ass niggas and can't get this. I'm so ashamed. Come back to your creator, people. This is what's going to happen. Look at what's happening. Look at what your woman is doing to the babies. She doing it. Oh, you got a part to play, but we just talking about our women right now. But look what the babies say to you. Listen. She 5. She say, as we lift others up, so will our Heavenly Father lift us up. You know, she sound country, so Malachi probably taught her. Sister from St. Louis taught her. Sister from Alabama taught her. When asked what she meant by our Heavenly Father lifting us up, she said, to help us above all bondage in thought and desire, so we shall have a higher happiness. Another girl stopped her ears for a moment, then said, answer selfishness by unselfishness, neither seeing or hearing the faults of others. A little boy was asked, what was the worst of all conversation? He answered, personal. They get it though, y'all. I swear if you talk this Jaja to them, they get it. Don't be scared to put it out there. Talk to your babies. This is what they want to hear. He said, what's the worst of all conversation? The baby said, personal conversation. When we speak evilly of anyone,
even behind their backs. The spirits of the dead go tell it to his soul, and he feel it, though he heard it not. Look at the babies. Look at the babies. Huh? How they getting it? We don't get it. How they getting it? You faithless. You faithless woman. Now look, a 4-year-old girl being asked of what use is life to anyone answered, clapping her hands, to be happy and rejoice in Jehovah and his beautiful creations. She was then asked why there is so much unhappiness in the world. She said, people know not how to live as they ought. A little girl said, they have not been taught how to, another girl said, they have not been taught how to make themselves happy. Still another one said, they want the wrong things. Spiritual desires are unknown to them. Oh, this what type of babies we raising up? The world is going to be in good hands. But somebody got to do the very first work. A 4-year-old being asked, what should be the highest consideration of man in regard to himself, answered, to forget himself. God damn it! Y'all gotta wake up. You gotta wake up. Cha-cha knocking at the door. He said, come outside and do some work. They asked a 4-year-old, what should be the highest consideration of man in regard to himself? She answered, to forget himself and all selfish things and striving to help others. This is a 4-year-old. How many of you niggas 40 and can't get this? Let me hit you with the cosmos. He was then asked why people complain so much. He said, to complain of one's lot is to acknowledge one's weakness of spirit. Oh, shit. This is a 4-year-old. He said to complain of one's lot. What's going on with you? What's happening is to acknowledge one's weakness of spirit. But it is scarcely possible to describe an examination of one of these classes of mere babes. Often their answers were by signs and pantomimes, not possible to be written. The ingenuity of the teachers in thus construing maxims and religious training into pastimes and recreations so full of delight was a new field of education. It's you, sister. With the utmost reverence did the little creatures pronounce the name Jehovih, Jehovih, Eowa, Ormaz, Ekoquin, and placed their hands on their hearts, signifying his love and goodness. Every attitude was graceful and dignified, yet amidst it all a vein of mirth, just happiness and confidence in the Almighty was to be seen, expressive of love on their part. Also, their eyes were quickened by various devices, One was a large screen with a hole or doorway in the center. Behind the screen was a traveling panorama. On the face of the panorama were printed objects as dogs, cats, birds, or horses, and so on. These objects were in groups of 3s or more. Whilst the panorama moved past the hole in the curtain in the screen, the little ones were to strive how many things they could distinguish. The objects were changed daily, so the children were obliged to observe the new arrangement every day. Some of the children could thus see and describe half a dozen objects at a mere glance. But in older classes, some of the children could see and describe 20 objects discerned at one glance. In fact, the quickness of the sight of these babes was such as no one, not having seen them, could believe possible. What? The memory of the children was strengthened by questioning them as to what was on the screen the previous day. Besides the screen and panorama, they had large reels covered in cloth on which objects were pinned also. The reel was then set in motion, turning rapidly, and the curtain raised, and the children instantly made traverse motions of their fingers before their eyes. Look what you teaching. To change the rays of light, and thus decipher the objects on the reel, though it ran so swiftly that one not educated in it could scarcely distinguish any one object. Teaching the baby to change the light, to not only perceive it, to change it, so you can see. Listen what's going on. Their hearing was educated by beginning behind a screen, also striking first on an anvil or other iron, then on a piece of wood, and then on a piece of cloth, and then on the floor, and including the children inducing the children to tell what was struck. After that, 2 objects were struck at the same time, and again the children taught to tell what the 2 objects were. Then 3 objects were struck at the same time, then 4, then 5, then 6, and so on, until it was really marvelous how quickly these young ears could detect every object struck. But a greater feat followed when the classes were older. A second teacher would read some very interesting story to the children whilst the objects were being struck. Then afterwards, the children would relate the story that had been read and also tell the objects struck the while. Then again, whilst another exhibition of reading and striking was going on, a third teacher came in and related some outside occurrence and asked for some order to be executed. After the piece was thus read, the children would relate it and tell the objects struck and the words and mission of the third teacher. Look at this. They're teaching you how to hear like gods. Then they say you be able to hear not only 10, 20 voices, 1,000,000 voices at once, and then still have the power to answer. Huh? Our women gonna teach our babies this on the earth, live right now. This has never been done. Then a teacher took a long, thin blade of steel behind the curtain and balanced it. And whilst thus balanced, struck it with the hammer 3 or 4 times till the children had it fixed well in mind. Remember, they can't see it. Then the teacher moved the blade from its axis nearer one end and struck it again. And now asked the children how far. Proportionately to its length, she had moved it. And they would tell by the sound alone. Next, she had the children sing the sound note of the blade when balanced, and then she told them to strike up a half octave, the which they did. Then she called in one of the children and said, now move the blade so it will make a half octave sound. And the children moved it correctly according to its length. Thus, these little ones learned the philosophy of sound and its measurement by the ear. Did you know you could do that? You could tell how far a thing is by its sound, how close it is, what it is, what you hit it with. These little ones learn the philosophy of sound and its measurement by the ear, whilst they were mere babies. And it was but an amusement and pastime, full of delight. Look at this. They having fun like a mug. In dancing, the same remarkable expertness was displayed. Instead of merely the 2 or 3 dozen dances known in the world, these little ones were taught more than 100. And their ease and lightness was more like some dream of fairies than of mortal children. The children's minds were thus constantly diverted, surprised, quickened, and filled with delight. But instead of having one teacher, as they do in the world for a dozen or more children, and drilling them monotonously through books and primers, they had in Leviticus from 1 to 3 teachers for every group of children, or nearly half as many teachers as children. And these teachers were constantly on duty, inventing and devising an everlasting change and edification, for the object was to raise up a new race of a higher and purer order. So that, in fact, from the time of waking in the morning to the time to go to bed at night, there was constant playing, singing, dancing, marching, swimming, praying, or training on the blackboard or behind the screens, and every day was different from every other day. And when night came, and the children had returned thanks to Jehovih for their creation and covenanted themselves to be worthy before him at all times, they quickly dropped asleep. But even in their prayers, they prayed not after the manner of the world's people, forever asking for something. That should convict a lot of you. But they were taught that they must forever offer something to him and to his created beings, and be faithful in their covenants. Here then was that new world for woman to apply herself accordingly as she had been created. And strange enough, a short time in Leviticus caused the place to be clear of that class that cried out so much in the world for the privilege of doing man's work. Yea, even some of that class who come thither with such ideas forsook their former inclinations when they saw the new way open. Didn't I tell you the babies get it? And they threw aside their bound up clothing and addressed themselves in liberty, and went to work so entirely unlike what they had formerly been, that one would hardly realize they were the same women. And what was more, her talent in this direction soon showed what the next creation of Leviticans would be. Thus, in short time in Leviticus, there was no clamor for woman's rights or about her wrongs. Her new world was made plain before her, and she loved it and embraced it naturally. Her devices for moral and spiritual training of small children was thus unlimited. But at the age of 5 to 7 years, the children passed into the men's world. Men's teaching, save in exceptions where women were assistants. But to be a man teacher in Leviticus was not like being a teacher in the schools of the world. To understand this, it must be borne in mind that the education of the children was so directed that the spiritual must ever transcend the intellectual. Look at this. In the primaries, woman had taught the children to use their fingers quickly and expertly, to use their eyes quickly, to hear and distinguish sounds clearly and quickly. In fact, she had not only sharpened them intellectually, but grounded them in spiritual and moral truths. Who is the moral backbone in America? Huh? We know who this coming through. The men teachers had begun where woman left off. They had to teach the children to apply their hands usefully. If at men's trade, then under a man's assistant. But if at woman's occupation, then under a woman assistant. Their quickened eyes, which had seen toys on the screen, now were turned to numeral and to various figures and geometry, also on the screens, and to multiply and add, and so on with rapidity. So that means they did it quick. Their ears, so well trained to hammers behind the screens, were now to be trained to sounds and music. Also, behind the screens, the scales, naturals, sharps, and flats, then to a number of sounds struck at one time, so that in a little practice, one might strike 10 notes on an instrument at one time, and the pupils will call everyone by name. Now, they had in the world what was called lightning, phenomenal, mathematical calculators. But here, the ordinary children in a school could do the same things. For Jehovah hath from time to time raised up in the world, what did it say? Yeah, raised up in the world phenomenal people to demonstrate what was possible for man. And even so was it with music. The so-called phenomenal musicians in the world were now equaled. Chopin equaled. Beethoven equaled. Bach and Brahms equaled by even little children in Leviticus. Here, the teachers taught drawing and painting by new methods, 10 times swifter than in the old way. The children illustrated the rise and fall of nations. They doing the Arachnum Bungal. The dark and light periods in the time cycles, in the cycles of time. They're using the timetables of prophecy and laid the foundation of prophecy. Look! To be taught in the next higher classes. Illustrations of light and magnetism were displayed before the pupils and formed a pastime, even whilst they were instructed. These teachers had numerous assistants, nothing being left undone that would develop the children spiritually and intellectually, for it was really the first and chief aim of the Leviticans to provide the next generation far in advance of anything that had ever been before on earth. This is possible. Not only is this possible, this is prophetic. This is happening. You give a woman a house, what she do with it? She make it a home. Give her some babies with no mother. What does she do? She becomes a mother. Women are always doubling and expanding, and oh, y'all gonna fit right into this. And you know, babies learn by looking at you. So y'all teach them like that. That's so smart. So then it was no trifling matter to find teachers competent to teach in Leviticus. Another unfortunate condition developed, which was that the world's people had been wrongly educated in regard to light and heat coming from the sun, same as they are today, and in regard to terrestrial magnetism and the motion of the heavenly bodies. After the revelation in Oahspe, it was found that new books bearing on these subjects were necessary. And in these respects, many so-called learned people who came to Leviticus offering themselves as teachers were unprepared and uneducated for the work. Nevertheless, in time, when now Jehovah raised up such as were required. Who? Cosman and Sila. My brother Malachi. My brother Brown's Yoga even bringing it out. And he young in this thing. My brother Malachi, young in this thing. These going to be powerful brothers coming up. My brother Yare Yah. My brother Spiritual Light. Huh? They're going to talk about us in time to come. They're going to talk about Cosman. Why? Because Cosman going to give it all up. I'm going to give it all up. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I can't wait to get out this city. I can't wait to get to that fresh air. I can't wait to help raise them babies up. Who with me? Who with me? Huh? Let me get a vortex in the chat if you with me. Huh? Who ready to go? I'm been ready. It's time to get the hell on. In the idolatrous region of Asia, Europe, and America, the children were early taught learning their signs, ceremonies, bowings before images, explaining their doctrines, sacred books, swords, and weapons of death. For the faithists are not sectarians, nor did they from the first oppose or contend with any one of these great sects as Brahmanism, Buddhism, and Christianity, Islam, Mormonism, Hebrewism, but rather, as one might say vulgarly, swallow up all the religions in the world. Why you think our people stuck in Christianity? Why you think we bang on the God's head so hard? Because our people stuck in it. And we got to open up that religious box. And hopefully they peek outside. Such then was the pride and glory of Leviticus. The people proved that only a small parcel of ground was necessary for existence, and that only a small amount of labor was necessary. and that much more time could be given to the education of children and developing a higher civilization. And such was soon made a demonstrable fact before all the world. It was a new religion and a new way of living. And it came to pass that many men and women in the world who had longed for some higher life, but being now old and unable to take part in the labor thereof, left their money to buy more land and to extend the new civilization. And it was done. Huh? They say, Cosmo, why you keep doing this shit? Why you going at my people? I'm not going at them. But somebody got to tell him. Somebody got to raise him up. He don't know he my brother. His God got him to hate me if I bring him any light that is higher than the one he has already had. His God said, be prejudiced, be racist, be hateful, be a man of war, be jealous, be murderous and slanderous. And the land was bought and locked up for the children. Look, that it might never be sold, but forever kept to extend the Father's kingdom. This is what's coming. Y'all tap big aboriginal power. Y'all tap on Supreme Chief Holiday. You dig what I'm talking about? Y'all tag them brothers, man. Y'all tag Sinetta. Tell them we got a new way. No gods, no lords, no saviors. Born of men only, the creator of great spirit only. We got a way to be white supremacy. Shouldn't your God be telling you that today? How to beat it? Only Oahspe does. So if you melanated, if nothing else, you should read it. And then do this on your own in your own group. We're not saying don't come rock with us. Yeah, come rock with us. But we may not be able to get to the East Coast, but we want you to do it in the East Coast. We may not be able to get to the South, the Midwest, or wherever we go. We may be away from y'all, but that don't mean you're not supposed to do it where you at. And that don't mean we're not going to help you. But it's time, y'all. They talking about government. We ain't going to have one. There's one big secret to this thing, though. And I'm going to let the secret out the bag. That it don't matter what you do, black man. It don't matter what you do, Negro, African American, nigger, cracker, honky, white bread, Oahspe. Don't matter what you do. If the Father, the Creator, is not one, not first, not all, the focus of everything, whatever you do will fail. And the Cosmon homes multiplied though. And villages like unto Levitica multiplied also. Look. And thousands of little children were brought out the cities of ooze of destruction, of dissipation, of nod, and educated and provided with homes. Thus did Jehovih, who created all people alive and who is Father over all, bring a new blessing into the world. And he alone became the all one, glorified over all the world.
This is the book of Gradius, Gratias. Right? But I want to go to the book of Judgment real quick. 4 and 21. Let's start here. Book of Judgment. Let me make sure. Yeah, this is the book of Judgment. Yup. Chapter 4. Let's start 21. Hear the words of your God, O man, and be wise in your judgment. He created you alive, gave to you of his own being. Be steadfast to him, and you shall not err. But eliminate yourself from the chance of error. He alone is unmistakably your sure foundation. Who? It's only one thing for sure in all creation, and that's Creator. He is unmistakably your sure foundation. You can't mix this up. You can't get it wrong. Only with him. And if you eliminate yourself, and when he says not, he's talking about your lower self, your shaitan. He said, but it eliminates yourself from the chance of error when you choose him. Why? Because he alone is unmistakably your sure foundation, in whom you shall not be tripped up. Hold on, excuse me, y'all. Your Creator is sufficient for you and your resurrection. And for this reason, in your soul, you shall abjure all gods, lords, and saviors. Neither shall you try to exalt his name by adding it to any name in the shape and figure of man, nor by anyone of woman born. Seek to attain to his voice in all things and to obey him for righteousness' sake. Do not be stubborn in your conceit. In your singleness of purpose, you shall be ministered to by the spirits of the first resurrection. But as you unite yourself in a brotherhood on earth, as you become Creator gang on earth, in the name of who? The Creator, Jehovih. So shall you be ministered to by the light of my second resurrection. But it has been proved, and it shall be proven again, that all brotherhoods on earth founded on any of the idols in heaven shall not stand. Because there is no second resurrection to minister to them. Let me read that one more time. But it has been proved, and it shall be proven again, that all brotherhoods on earth founded on any of the idols in heaven shall not stand, because there is no second resurrection to minister to them. In all societies, constitutions, bylaws founded by men not capable of the second resurrection shall fail. But whoever establishes in the second resurrection, which is the abnegation of self to serve Jehovah, shall not fail. I hope this was edifying for everybody, man. I hope this was edifying. I hope y'all got it. I've been on here a little while. I think it's time to let this thing breathe, man. Let me turn up a little knock just for a minute. Now, with that being said, I want you to breathe in. Let the light in. Because I'm Cosmon. And I'm out.
And oh yeah, put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you're feeling up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you feel it up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh,
just that Jehovih, that Chow Mein, that Papa Bull, that Tao Mein, since sunset in the arc of Wayne, my brain moving like Tao Sang, so as above, it's so below, that up and that down thing, this flow is atmospheric, I call that a ground game, see water is knowledge, so if I'm teaching, you're learning, so how your God make a sun without vortexing and current, see the pattern is ponic, I'm reaching out for my people, Oahspe flow through your speakers, you feel the force of the ether, and when the force gets the equal, I'm taking off like an eagle. Police popped the pastor yesterday for pushing put equal. My DNA is Moshe. Mix that thing with higher water. My spirit rate is OTN. It's just a higher order. Got more light than Gavita. Rap a lot just like Tila. Went from sinner to saint. Shout out my big homie Sela. Got more torque than a sports car. Got more work than a door star. And the 4 million I make, I'm giving the Dr. Umar. Oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you're feeling up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you feel it up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Super 7 in my rites and ceremonies. I'm married to Jehovah, holy matrimony. Confucius say, in the words of Caillou, before you hit the tomb, be a bridegroom. Only got one question for Miss Susan B. On how to last Ahuin is now a Angui. Blame my inspiration, I'm just thinking thoughts. But in the way of God's, we gon' keep it short. Why Jesus wanna kill me, Matthew 10:34. Just a couple questions that I'm needing to know. Oahspe flow is so potent, set the vortex in motion. Super 7, I'm floating across the Aegean Ocean. Oh, you a Muslim now, so I guess you making salat. Well, I'm an Israelite, I'ma make him at the Shabbat. Got Moses on the bumper, super slap off in my spaceship photosphere. So I stay lit, peace and light to the faith is so yeah.
Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you're feeling up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you feel it up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you're breathing rarefied air, oh yeah.